After completing my 10th class exams in 1979, my father suggested that I go and help my father's uncle and learn astrology. Mathematics being my favorite subject, I learned the calculations. My grandfather taught me how to calculate the inclinations of each planet and how to calculate the lagna and the meridian center MC. And he gave me some birth charts to draw. Thus, I learned how to draw the birth charts first and showed interest in predictions. So my grandfather told me some predictions, some of the tips that he usually uses for predictions, and after learning those tips I documented some of them. I verified with my father. While my father and my grandfather have laid the foundation for me to get interested in astrology, for almost a decade or 2 decades, I didn't show any interest. Welcome to Shastri Kara's astrological series. In the part 1 presentation for the 2021 Sidereal Ephemeris, I did identify the 6 planet, 5 planet, and 4 planet combination, and then presented it like when are they going to happen. That's just one is the possibilities for a 6 planet combination, 5 planet combination, and a 4 planet combination to happen. That was being presented in the part 1 series. This is the second part of the series where I'm going to take two countries birth charts. One is the United States of America and the other is the Republic of India, and trying to analyze the birth charts, how the country reacts, what might happen to this country, to these two countries, because of these 6 planet and the 5 planet combination. Remember, we had the similar ones in 2019 December. At that time it was a 5 planet combination, and that happened in December 2019. And then both in United States and Republic of India, there's a coronavirus COVID-19 impact. So in the same way, we are going to have this time not just a 5 planet, even a 6 planet combination too. And I'm trying to analyze what could happen during in the month of January and February, when these two events are going to happen. And by by having this impact, how long will the country face the outcome of this impact? That's what I'm going to analyze it in this presentation. This is the part 2 of the presentation that I'm going to do for 2021 Sidereal Ephemeris analysis. Let me start the presentation by for this Grahakutami and its impact on USA. First, let me reiterate the notable combinations that's going to happen in January and February of 2021. The first, there are three notable combinations. The very first one is the 6 planet combination. That means Saturn, Jupiter, Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. All the 6 planets are going to be in Capricorn. Capricorn is owned by Saturn. That means 5 planets are going to stay in the house owned by Saturn, and the house owner Saturn himself is also staying in his own house. This is on 10th and 11th of February. So give a plus or minus of few hours. So I would say that somewhere 9, 10, 11, and 12th of February. In these 4 days, there is 100% this 6 planet combination is going to stay for at least 48 hours. The second notable combination is a 5 planet combination. The 5 planet combination is going to happen 2 times. The very first time it is going to happen on 14th and 15th of January 2021. That is when Saturn, Jupiter, Sun, Mercury, and Moon are going to be in Capricorn. Saturn will be is in Capricorn since December 2019. Jupiter is going to enter Capricorn in December 2020. And as usual, every year in January, Sun enters Makara Rasi or Capricorn during the second week of January. And when Sun enters, by default, Mercury will be very close to Sun, and Venus is a little bit farther away from Sun, but still it's going to be close to Sun. So on 14th and 15th of January 2021, Saturn, Jupiter, Sun and Mercury are sure to be in Capricorn. Moon will be in each Rasi for 2.5 days, and on 14th and 15th of January it's going to be in Capricorn. That's how the first 5 planet combination is going to happen. The second 5 planet combination is still we have Saturn, Jupiter, Sun, Mercury, but Moon goes off and Venus comes in. And when Venus comes in, it's going to stay at least for 4 to 5 days in the same Rasi. So starting 5th of February all the way till 12th of February, this 5 planet combination is going to happen. Remember, the 6 planet combination is happening during the same period, somewhere between 9th and 12th of February. That means the second set of 5 planet combination, I would say it as is on 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th of February only, because from 9th to 12th, those days fall under the 6 planet combination. And very frequently what we see is a 4 planet combination, and this is going to happen again in 2021. Saturn, Jupiter, Sun and Mercury residing in Capricorn from 16th January all the way till 25th of January. And that's one set of 4 point combination, and the Mercury goes off and Venus will come in, and that is from 28th February till 4th February is another 4 planet combination. So if you look overall, starting 14th January all the way till 12th February, that means exactly 1 month, 30 calendar years. In these 30 calendar years, there are 3 types of combinations: a 4 planet combination, 2 sets of 4 planet combinations, 2 sets of 5 planet combination, and 1 set of 6 planet combination is going to happen in Capricorn in the year 2021. After going through these combinations, the number of combinations and the planets that are going to be combined in Capricorn in January and February 2021, I did pick only the 3 important planets that have more than one aspect. These are the transit planets I'm looking at. One is Mars. Transit Mars is going to be in its own house, Aries, Mesha, mostly during January and February of this month, January and February in year 2021. That's the first thing. So if you take Transit Mars fourth aspect is on the sixth house from natal moon. Remember, when you're looking at the transit planets, you have to look at the houses from the natal moon. From natal moon, transit Mars fourth aspect is on the sixth house. Sixth house deals with public health, Rogasthanamo for a country. This is a country. So sixth house deals with public health, Rogasthanamo. Mars, a violent planet, is now aspecting the Rogasthanamo. And while it is doing that, in the sixth house already, for the United States chart, there is natal Rahu and the eighth house Lord Mercury is already residing there. That means a violent planet is fourth aspect is on this public sixth house, which deals with public health, and where Rahu is residing. Rahu indicates that whatever the diseases that are going to show up is not something that is not predictable, or something that is known but has a no cure. That is what the Rahu does it. And here the eighth house Lord Mercury, because it is residing there, and Mars fourth aspect is on that house too. Eighth house deals with huge losses of public life and loss of state treasury. So the public health is will be challenging and a result due to some sort of a disease that is not curable or unknown, resulting into loss of lot of public lives. The second Mars transit Mars direct aspect is on the ninth house. Ninth house is Dharmasthanamo or law and courts. So there will be some chaos when it comes to law, means the government starting new laws or eradicating existing laws, and the court's involvement. And then transit Mars 8th aspect is on Scorpio, which is the 10th house from natal moon. And if you look at it, transit Rahu's direct aspect is on Scorpio too. So that means the Mars is looking at the 10th house. 10th house deals with the leader or administration, country's administration, ruling administration, not the administration, the ruling power, whichever whoever is doing that. And then Rahu is directly looking at that, and now Mars is also looking at that. So because of Rahu, Mars fourth and direct aspect, fourth aspect on sixth house and direct aspect on ninth house, this eighth aspect on the 10th house, and Rahu also looking at it, indicates that there will be some sort of a disturbances in the administration or administrators. The next one we go is Jupiter. Jupiter from natal moon, Jupiter is the second house lord. For a country, second house deals with revenue, trading and banking sector. And also Jupiter is the 11th house lord. 11th house deals with financial gains for any country. That means you can say it as gaining through import or exports or stock market, anything like that. Now, Jupiter's fifth aspect is on the fourth house. Fourth house deals with weather and agriculture. And now Jupiter, because it has co-joined with the Saturn, it became a functional malefic. So the functional malefic is now looking at the fourth house, weather and agriculture, where transit Rahu is already residing. So this tells you that because of that functional malefic looking at the house where another malefic is residing, there will be some disturbances in weather and agriculture, resulting into loss of revenue for the country. Then comes Jupiter direct aspect is again on the sixth house from natal moon, and I explained everything how Mars fourth aspect and Jupiter's direct aspect is going to be the same. So whatever Mars is going to do, Jupiter, whatever Mars does, Jupiter will show the impact on the country's nation's revenue. And then Jupiter's ninth aspect, this is very important. Jupiter's ninth aspect is on the eighth house from natal moon. Eighth house from natal moon, where you have the natal Saturn, which is the 12th house lord from moon, is residing. Remember, transit Jupiter is co-joined with transit Saturn in the 12th house, and now its ninth aspect is on the natal Saturn in the 8th house. So the 12th house deals with hospitals or hospitalizations, and 8th house deals with the loss of lives. So whatever the Mars is going to do with its with its fourth aspect on the sixth house, and Jupiter fifth direct aspect on the sixth house, this Jupiter's ninth aspect will just amplify it. And the last one that comes is Saturn. Saturn's third aspect is on the second house owned by Jupiter, so which is nothing but country's revenue. We already discussed about it. Then Saturn's direct aspect on sixth house, that is also discussed about it. Then Saturn's 10th aspect. Saturn's 10th aspect is on Libra, which is the ninth house from natal moon. Ninth house is again the Dharmasthanamo. Look, this is the Dharmasthanamo. The house is having a direct aspect from transit Mars. The Dharmasthanamo is getting a 10th aspect from transit Saturn, and above all, the Dharmasthanam is the house next to the residence of natal Saturn. So wherever natal Saturn is residing, it spoils the house next to its residence. So it is going to spoil the house of Dharmasthanamo. And now the transit Saturn is going to looking at Dharmasthanamo. So natal Saturn, whatever it has spoiled, the transit Saturn will amplify it. Transit Mars direct aspect is on Dharmasthanamo again, and so whatever the Saturn has done, Mars will convert that into some sort of a violent environment and amplifies the outcome. So overall, for the United States, in the United States chart, during this Grahakotomy, during the whole month from starting November, January to 14th all the way till end of February. No, sorry. So that is 13th to February. That means approximately 30 to 45 days is very, very challenging for the country, and this might be the period where a new history will be written for this country. After going through the notable combinations for in the month of January and February 2021, uh, we just need to figure it out, like whatever happened in January 2021 and February 2021, how is it going to impact the remaining 10 months. If that needs to be done, the most important thing that one has to do is to look at the slow moving transit planets. Are they changing their houses after February 2021 and before December 2021? Here in the year 2021, Saturn and Rahu are going to be in the same house for the whole year. That means Saturn will be in Capricorn and Rahu will be in Taurus. That's where they are in January 2021, and that's where they will be all the way till December 2021. So the only planet, slow moving planet that might it will be moving is Jupiter. Jupiter is going to enter Capricorn in December 2020, and it's going to co-join with Saturn, transit Saturn in December 2020. And what's going to happen is that from there all the way till 5th April 2021, that means January, February, and March, 3 months. All the 3 months, the first 3 months in the year 2021, transit Jupiter is going to co-join with transit Saturn, and that is when we are going to have these 6 planet, 5 planet, and 4 planet combinations. On 6th of April 2021, Jupiter will go to Aquarius, the next house. That's where it is going to co-join with Moon, natal Moon. So Jupiter and natal Moon, they both will be having a direct aspect on uh, what you call the 7th house, which is Leo. The Lord is Sun. Sun is still, so in April, Sun will be somewhere in Aries, where it is getting exalted. So April, from April all the way till 24th of June, that means April, May, June. So the 3 months, April, May, and June, these 3 months, Jupiter will be in forward motion, and the advantage of that being is since it's having a direct aspect on Sun, and Sun will be exalted in Aries, it's a good sign for the country with respect to the leader of the country. For the leader of the country, it's a very good sign. So Jupiter is going to, being the second house lord, is going to bring some good news when it comes to revenue. That is the second house, and trading and stock market, banking and stock market. Stock market is the 11th house. That is where it also owns it. So Jupiter is going to do something good from 6th April all the way till end of June. And then in June 25th or 26th of June, it starts going retrograde. It means going in the reverse direction, and slowly by 15th of September 2021, Jupiter will again enter Capricorn, and there it is going to co-join with transit Saturn again. So from June till September 15th, whatever that has been gained in March, April, May, and June is slowly going to go in a negative direction. And by September 15th, when Jupiter enters Capricorn and co-joins with Saturn, again the issue is again going to get repeated. That means having the public health issues, issues with the revenue, country's revenue, issues with the trading and banking sector, issues with loss of lives, hospitalizations, all those things that we have noticed in the whole year 2020, and especially in the first 2 months of 2021. will be repeated from September 15th of 2021, and that will go all the way till 21st of November, means September, October, November, another 3 months. And in November, fortunately November 2021, Jupiter is going to go to Aquarius again, and again things will start show going in a positive direction. So overall, when you look at the slow planet Jupiter's motion in the year 2021, the first 3 months will be extremely challenging, and then the next 3 months will be very good for the country. Afterwards, on the next 3 months, whatever the good has done, it will go in the negative direction. And then from September all the way till November, I mean another 3 months, it will be the worst situation. And from November 2021, end of November 2021, again the country will start looking something good with respect to revenue and some sort of a what you call a breathing space when it comes to public health and hospitalizations. If you take the birth chart of the United States of America, it's the date of birth is 4th July 1776, around 5 p.m. in Philadelphia. If you look at the natal planets, the most important here is natal Rahu, who is in Cancer, is co-joined with the 8th house lord Mercury. Mercury is the 8th house lord uh, from Rashi Lagna. So it has co-joined with the 8th house lord Mercury in Cancer. That means both natal Rahu and natal Mercury are going to have a direct aspect on Capricorn. That's the first and the foremost thing that we need to see is who is having an aspect on Capricorn. The reason why I'm considering Capricorn here is because it is the place, it is that zodiac house where the 6 planet combination and 5 planet combination is going to happen in the month of January 2021 and February 2021. Now, where is the natal moon for the country? For the country, the natal moon is in Aquarius. So, Saturn, from natal moon, Saturn owns the 1st and the 12th houses. Jupiter owns the 2nd and 11th houses. Sun owns the 7th house. Moon owns the 6th house. Mercury owns the 5th and 8th houses, and Venus owns the 4th and 9th houses. These are all the houses that these planets own from natal moon. The reason why I had considered only these planets are because this is the 6 planet combination that's going to happen on 14th January, 14th, 15th and 16th of January. These 3 days is Saturn, transit Jupiter, transit Sun, transit Moon, transit Mercury, and transit Venus. All of those are going to be in Capricorn on that day, on 14th of January 2021. That's the reason why I had checked what are the houses that they own when looked from the natal moon position. Because we are looking at the impact of transit planets, it's always advisable that we start validating their lordships and the places, houses that they own and the houses they reside from the natal moon. Also, since natal moon is in Aquarius and the transit planet Saturn is in Capricorn, the Sadeshini for the country has started in December 2019, plus or minus 1 month. So that's exactly when the COVID-19 impact had been happened for this country, and it will last for 7.5 to 8 years. The reason why I give half a year more is because there is always a possibility for Saturn to go in retrograde motion and come back to north forward motion. So it takes some time. So this 6 months extra grace is been given to only to transit Saturn. No other planet gets that flexibility. So in January and February of 2021 for United States, all the 6 planets are going to reside in the 12th house Capricorn. And since they are residing in the 6th house, 12th house, all the planets are going to have a direct aspect on the 6th house from natal moon. Moon is the lord of the 6th house. 6th house is the Rogasthanamo or public health. And All these planets are residing in the 12th house, which is hospitalizations. So, and the 12th house deals with us. Now, since the 8th house Lord Mercury is also part of the Kutami or the planetary combination, 6 and 5 planet combinations, the other possibility is that large loss of lives and loss of state treasury. Now remember, natal Rahu and natal Mercury are in 6th house too. So for these Graha Kutami or planetary combination that's going to happen in January and February, this natal Rahu and natal Mercury will be behaving as a catalyst. Now let's go and look at Rahu too, because transit Rahu has entered the 4th house from natal moon. 4th house deals with agriculture and weather for a country. And so this tells you that Rahu is generally an unpredictable planet. So this tells you that during this planetary combination, this Rahu is going to stay there for 1.5 years, starting September 2020. So for 1.5 years, approximately till February 2022, Rahu will be there. So indicating that the country will be going through unpredictable weather and something that is not predictable pertaining to agriculture. This is the first thing. Also, when you look at who else are aspecting transit Rahu, when you look at it during this Graha Kutami in January and February, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th aspect, Jupiter's 5th aspect is on Rahu. You see there, Jupiter's 5th aspect is on Rahu, and the most other important thing is transit Venus. Natal Rahu is having a direct aspect on transit Venus too. The reason why we picked up the Venus is because Venus is the 4th house lord from natal moon. So natal Rahu is having a direct aspect on transit Venus. Transit Rahu is residing in the house owned by Venus, and transit Venus is a part of the Kutami or part of the planetary combination, the 6 planet and 5 planet combination during January and February of 2021. So this tells you that the weather will be unpredictable and in January and February of 2021, and some impact will be on agriculture. This is the second part. The first part I already told is the diseases and public health resulting into hospitalizations and large loss of lives or large loss of state treasury. That's the first part. The second thing that's possible for the country is unpredictable in weather and agriculture. Now, the third thing that we need to look at is, remember Saturn and Jupiter are the 2 planets that have more than one aspect. So when we are looking at Saturn, transit Saturn, the 3rd aspect is on the 2nd house from natal moon, and the 10th aspect is on the 9th house from natal moon. So transit Saturn is going to have some impact on the 2nd house and the 9th house. 2nd house deals with trading and banking sector and revenue, also revenue for the country, and the 9th house deals with law and courts. So when transit Saturn is looking at the 9th house, if you look at it in the 9th house from natal moon, when transit Saturn is looking at it, there is a natal Saturn already residing there. So the Saturn will be creating some sort of a hiccups pertaining to revenue, trading and banking, and something that pertains to law and courts. This is for when Saturn is already there since January 2020, and the impact is already been visible to the country when it comes to revenue, trading and banking, and the law and courts. Now that particular impact gets amplified during the January and February of 2021. So now let's go and look at what happens. What is the other extra thing that can happen apart from this? If you look at it, Jupiter's 5th aspect is again on the 4th house from natal moon, where Rahu is residing, and the 9th aspect is on natal Saturn in the 8th house from natal moon. So Jupiter is now looking at again at transit Rahu and natal Saturn. So this tells you that Jupiter, who is the lord of the second house, means revenue and trading and banking, will show some sort of a issue for the country during this period. That means in January and February particularly. And transit Jupiter is going to enter Capricorn in December 2020. So from December 2020, it might already show the impact, but the actual effects you will see it from in January and February, and that will go on as long as Jupiter is co-joined with Saturn in Capricorn, which is approximately until December 2021. Now that, let me go and look at the Vimsotari Dasa analysis, especially during this 6 planet and 5 planet combination period. First of all, when you consider the Vimsotari Dasa, the first cycle started on 4th July 1776 and completed on 18th August 1889. The second cycle started in 1889 and went all the way till 2009. So the United States is going through the third cycle of Vimsotari Dasa, and in the third cycle, the Mars period started in 2009 August, went till 2016 August, and then Rahu period began. Rahu Mahadasa started in August 2016 and that will last for 18 years. So here the Rahu Mahadasa is very, very important when you are looking at the United States chart and analyzing the outcomes of any transit planets. Just like in the two previous Rahu Rahu Mahadasas during the two previous cycles, Rahu played a very important role. So during this Mahadasa also, it is going to play a very important role. The first and the foremost thing is Rahu Mahadasa and Rahu Antardasa is completed in December 2019. Just before the end of the Rahu Mahadasa completion is when the country has started the impact of COVID-19. And then it is also during this Rahu Mahadasa and Rahu Antardasa that the country has elected a businessman who had no political experience as its president. Now the next one comes is the Jupiter Antardasa. After Rahu Mahadasa comes the Jupiter Antardasa. In Rahu Mahadasa and Jupiter Antardasa, which started in December 2019, the very first thing that has seen is the outcome of COVID-19 in the country and the impact of it since January 2020. Now, if you look at it, the Jupiter is the 12th house lord. Jupiter is a 12th house lord. That means hospitalizations and hospitals, and the 9th house lord Dharmasthanamu. 9th house also deals with courts and law and order and courts. So during the Rahu Mahadasa, these two things will be the emphasis in the country. One is the law, order and the courts. The third one is hospitalizations pertaining or unexpected expenditures for the country too. The reason why I said unexpected expenditures is nothing but when the revenue is less and the expenditures are more, then you see the unexpected expenditures. That's exactly what happened since January 2020. Due to the COVID-19 and public health crisis, the country's national revenue has dropped down. There was a high unemployment and the nation's debt was increased. This is all you can see it from because of the Jupiter Antardasa. And if you look at it, Jupiter at that time in January 2020, it was still in its own house, which is the 9th house, and then it's going to enter in 2021 January. In November 2020, Jupiter is going to enter Capricorn. That's when this 6-planet combination, the 5-planet combination is going to happen. So this tells you that as soon as the Jupiter enters the Capricorn, the houses that you own from natal moon, which is the 2nd house and the 11th house, are going to have the major impact and which will be highly visible to the country because of the Jupiter Antardasa and Rahu Mahadasa and the six planet and the five planet combination that's going to happen in January and February of this for the in the year 2020. And keep in mind, this six planet combination is the one that is going to be documented as a turning point in American history.